Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Eddie V, and I'm here with Owen Dion, and welcome to Afk In The Morning, the weekly podcast show. Finally back. We're finally back, Owen.
We are back, and we have a new set. We are on YouTube now. We are at cameras. Like, we got one camera right here. We got a camera in the middle, and we got a camera for Eddie.
Yeah.
So, we are back, and we are going to bring you the best podcast that we can when it comes to gaming. Mostly for now, League of Legends Esports and NA. So, what we want to talk to you about is our schedule. What we're going to be looking at is we're going to be posting a video every Friday right before the LCS starts at 10 a.m. We're also going to be on different platforms. Isn't that right, Ed?
Yeah, we're going to be on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and we're even going to have our own Discord. So, like, for Instagram, we're going to post pictures, obviously, clips and stuff like that. Throughout, we're also going to do the same thing for Twitter, TikTok. YouTube is going to have clips and also the full podcast released there. And then our Discord is going to be for pretty much everyone who joins the community. And there's also going to be a couple other perks.
Yeah, so one of the perks, the main perk we're thinking of right now, is we're going to have a channel in the Discord. And the point of the channel is that you're going to be able to submit stuff you hear about on Twitter, all the drama, all that stuff that you want to see on the show. The first 3 people to bring up a topic, even if we've already seen it, if a topic's in our show, we'll find the first 3 people. And once we find those 3 people, when the topic comes up in the bottom corner, like you see right now where it just has our names, there's going to be your guys' names. So you're going to get to see who's in the community. And if you're active in our Discord, you'll get to have your name on the show.
It's just an easy way to bridge the gap between our show and the community. And it really allows us to, well, we're kind of dumb. And so we don't really have a lot of ideas. So we're using you guys to give us ideas.
Exactly.
Because...
And we get to build a huge community out of it.
Yeah, huge, ginormous.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. It's always, absolutely. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for what we're doing. We're back, and then we're just gonna get right into the show.
Yeah, and depending on how good this goes, we might get another show, because this one's mainly going to focus on LCS and stuff like that. But depending on how popular we get, we might branch into other esports or just like a general talk and happen on different days of the week. So
yeah, just think of it as us dipping our toes into the pool. We're trying to figure out things. Like, we're going to probably have 2 shows come out this week, but this is like our intro show. So it's going to come out like not the usual time, like we said, Friday. But it's just like feeling like what we need to do and all the other possibilities of making the best show possible.
Exactly. So this might not be the best thing, but it's just a start, and we'll see where we go from there. And also, we're not going to be on iTunes and Spotify like we were before, because we realize it's really hard to grow there. So we're just going to grow on YouTube, and then once we get an audience, we'll move on to those platforms, so it'll be easier for you to watch.
Yeah, well, and let's say we only have like 20 or 30 people watching, and they want to see on Spotify, we'll put it on Spotify.
Yeah.
But,
so just let us know.
Yeah.
But we're going to move into our first topic, and Eddie's going to talk about all the movements that happened since we're late from spring to summer.
So we're going into week 4 technically. So we're a pretty decent amount
The time
late.
we're filming this, Friday Night League's already happened.
Yeah. So, but there has been a lot of changes from spring to summer that we feel like we need to address, and then half of them have already been reverted by teams. But we're gonna go through it. So, like, obviously the biggest one was definitely Doublelift to TSM, which was kind of unexpected considering they were the best team for...
Anytime the most popular player in a league gets traded, it's going to be the biggest news of the offseason.
Absolutely. And like, you didn't really expect it, right? Team Liquid had a bad split, but they also won 4 back-to-back championships, right?
With Doublelift as the main point of that.
Yeah, exactly. They were always bot lane focused. So it you know, it feels a little bit weird to do it, but I think it was because Doublelift really wanted the change. And then there was a lot of other stuff surrounding the whole TSM and why, you know, that's such a weird trade because of Doublelift and Lena.
Yeah,
and all
so I think that alone just has to come up with the fact that insider information, everyone was annoyed with that, which I think they have a really good point to like be annoyed.
Well, yeah, you know, when you have your girlfriend telling everyone on your stream that no one wants Dardoch, like
that's a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, just a little bit. But, you know, a lot of people have already talked about this, so we're kind of going to gloss over it a lot, but like a lot of the other trades are like tactical for Doublelift is a very interesting one. Academy player, Team Liquid brought him up himself, you know.
And Team Liquid, I feel like, is not a team that usually uses their academy.
No, Big Money Steve likes to just spend as much money as possible.
You just buy the best people you can buy, and you hope it works.
Yeah, but so I'm really happy about more academy talent getting chances to play, especially when they play decent. Like Team Liquid has started 4-2. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not a bad team. They're not as probably at their peak as what they were before, but they're definitely improving from spring split.
Yeah.
And Tactical has put on some really great performances, and he's only played like 8 or 9 games in the LCS.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's wrong with Doublelift, but Tactical is really helping out.
Yeah, well, and Tactical is a less selfish player.
That is very true. Doublelift is all of his teammates have always talked about how he always needs all the resources.
He wants to be the carry, you know?
Does.
And you mean you have to understand that.
If you're playing a game, you want to be the best person in the game, and that requires you to get resources.
Exactly. And if you won as many championships as Doublelift,
Exactly.
you kind of have a lot more sway and opinions and stuff like that. But in TSM, he's probably going to be splitting resources a lot more because that's how they used to do it back in 2016. Him and Bjergsen split a lot of resources. But we're going to just continue to see that. We also had like Huni to Evil Geniuses,
with that massive contract he got at the beginning of spring.
Yeah,
no, not
spring. Beginning of spring, he got the massive contract for Dignitas, and everyone was looking at Dignitas management, going
thinking,
like,
"What is wrong with you?
What are you guys doing? Like this guy is not worth 1.8 million, not even close.
No,
he's not worth this amount of money at all. And guess what? He wasn't worth the amount of money because they traded him the next split.
And with the trade, they're renegotiating the contract I talked about, so he's not going to be getting all that 1.8 mil. And I have a feeling he never expected to.
Yeah, well, I think he wanted to have a position on a team so badly he's willing to take a cut.
Yeah.
There was no way another team was going to buy him out for 1.8 million.
Especially with all the media after the whole contract, everyone's saying, "What are they doing?" I think he kind of probably got a little.
Well, yeah, and
he noticed he's not worth that much.
Well, if you as a player can negotiate a 1.8 million salary when you're not worth it, good for you. Negotiate that salary for you.
Or his agent.
Yeah.
I need to find that agent.
Yeah,
Maybe they can get us some sponsors for the show.
I would hope so. If he can get Huni 1.8 million, he could get us fucking anything. Like
that is true.
That dude was so not worth. I wouldn't even pay $1 million for Huni. Like he wasn't worth it. Like, and the fact that he got that amount of money, brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. His agent must have been nuts. But now we're gonna talk about like Dignitas.
Yeah, they had to get a replacement for Huni since they did get rid of Huni.
Yeah, so
and they ended up picking up Viper.
They picked up Viper from FlyQuest, who was replaced by Solo. Yep. And Viper was. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this move. I don't think Viper is an LCS caliber player. He's got a really good Riven, but other than that, he hasn't put up great performances.
Yeah, but if they don't ban the Riven,
they always let's be real.
Honest here. Everyone's been talking about how the draft this split so far for every team
is awful.
Is the reason they lose. So if they just don't ban the Riven, then Viper wins. So it might win.
Well, they already replaced him, so we're not going to talk about it. So Viper's not an LCS caliber player. He just really he had one decent and one by decent I mean decent split for FlyQuest, and that's it. He wasn't at the caliber. He's not ready. He might not be ready. I'm more excited about his younger brother who's like 16 and already like top ranked in Challenger.
I've not heard of him.
Also a Riven 1 trick too.
Maybe FlyQuest pick him up.
Maybe that would be pretty funny. But yeah, he's not an LCS caliber player. So Dignitas picked him up, hoping maybe I remember the tweet. We're getting an upgrade in the top lane. You went for Huni wasn't worth 1.8 million,
but he was better than Viper.
But he is a top 5. He's easily a top 5 top laner in LCS without a doubt. So
100%.
The fact that you're replacing him with the 9th top laner, maybe 10th,
there's a lot better options out there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's not even funny.
Yeah, especially since you already see how Viper plays normally. You could have even went to an academy player because they give him another chance. Where you already seen Viper's potential and he's not terrible.
Oh, he's gonna be better at me in League of Legends.
100%.
All the time, but
there's probably some better options out there that just haven't been picked on. Because let's be real here, the LCS is really good at recycling players that are washed up. They don't like new talent, and we're going to talk about that later. But they like just recycling people. Yeah. And Viper got in there, so guess what? He's going to be around for a few years.
I'm never going to diss a player for going for a roster spot.
They did what that. I would do it.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible league player, but if I got offered to play, you bet I'd be taking that contract.
I'm taking the contract 100%.
I might question the management.
So and we'll talk about that more, especially with Immortals and players like Ika and stuff like that. Yeah. But 100%, I'm not blaming the players. I'm blaming management.
Yeah,
management is always to fault when it comes to ridiculous contracts or horrible roster moves. And then the one roster move that I think was my favorite by far was Damonte for Golden Glue for Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Which
Everyone wants to know where DeMonte was.
yeah, I mean to be real, DeMonte is an LCS caliber player
100%.
easily without a doubt. He's top 5 in my opinion LCS caliber player, and
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, not a lot of people would agree, but
especially our mid lane opponent. Like our mid lane in NA is not the strongest.
No, and it's all
we have a lot stronger positions. So DeMonte, like he's a pretty strong mid laner.
Oh yeah, I think he's easily he made Worlds. Like that Worlds team. Let's be real, wasn't that amazing other than DeMonte and Vulcan on that team. Like Cody's son can put up good performances when he gets ahead, but he doesn't get.
Yeah, he has some trouble getting ahead.
Like as you can see with 100 Thieves, without a great support, he's not a great player. Yeah. So Vulcan and DeMonte carried that clutch gaming team pretty much
to Worlds, and then he didn't get a spot.
Yeah, and then he didn't, and then he got replaced with Froggen, who's getting replaced with Phoenix. And the Dignitas management, I was so excited because like going from last year when they were taking over from Clutch, and like the CEO, he comes in, he's pretty much buff me. He's super jacked, and he comes in and he's like, you know what, we're doing this, and then suddenly they went from an 8th place team to a top 3 team and went to Worlds.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about this. And then he signs Hooney for 1.8 million, gets rid of DeMonte and puts in Froggen, who honestly is worse. He's worse. Please. I hate it. I hate it when people overhype Froggen. He's washed. He's done. He's gone. Like he's not. He's still an LCS caliber player, but he is just not at the same level. He only plays mages. He can't play anything else. He plays his comfort picks, and he hasn't been on a real playoff contender team in the LCS ever since he's joined the LCS. So, yeah, the fact that they replaced him with Froggen, I was like, well, whatever. If Froggen's still like a decent player, they should still okay. Where's DeMonte going? DeMonte's not going anywhere? Like,
yeah, it's weird. But you know what's more interesting than your mid-split or your between-split trades is your mid-split trades.
In Summer Split.
That is what the weird things are. Because you're playing with your team, if you switch players, you don't have that much practice time before your next stage game. Where if you do it between splits, you have all these options. But in week 4, or heading up to week 4, we saw a lot of trades.
Yeah.
And
well, not trades, but
not
roster
trades,
moves.
but yeah, roster moves.
And
trading between their academy teams in there.
Yeah, so the 3 bottom teams all decided they wanted to switch things up, which
makes sense because they were really bad.
And I like, because now we're finally getting into why franchising is so important.
Exactly.
Because teams are actually allowed to make risks.
Yep.
And they're allowed to bring in NA talent that usually wouldn't get a chance. Like Immortals, well, fuck. Immortals is just ridiculous. Little side tangent. I tweeted one thing at Zabutin, and it wasn't even that bad. I just was like, what are you doing benching Xmiffy? Like, this is one of the dumbest decisions ever. One tweet blocked me instantly. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, man, you're so not sensitive.
Knows he's wrong.
Well, a week later, he got fired. So
Eddie for new GM?
No, but I would probably still do a better job than him picking out a roster.
That is a possibility.
Like, that was the, by far, worst summer split roster ever. Like, subbing out Xmiffy.
And I think what you have to say with that, though, is it's not that they didn't have a choice. Look at their academy team.
Yeah.
Their academy team was a good team. And we saw that when they played last week.
When they won their first game in LCS.
By playing their academy team, which is not an academy team.
Yeah, and then they lost their second game to Cloud9, the team that beats everyone else. So we still don't know the full potential of this new Immortals roster.
The only way that Immortal Academy idea was maybe they were just trying to win Academy Worlds. Maybe that was their idea. They just stacked their academy team.
Like, we're just gonna put someday in Immortals.
Pull 100 Thieves.
Yeah, we'll pull 100 Thieves.
Worlds.
Yeah, that's it. We're just gonna take one of the best laners in the entire world and put him on our team. But the fact that they thought it was a good idea to sub out he's a top 3 jungler, period. Yeah. He's easily the best domestic jungler we have in NA. Yeah. Easily, without a doubt. And you sub him out.
Better than Medios.
Yeah. Oh. you sub him out and you put Potluck. Okay, new NA talent. I don't mind. It's whatever. But the fact that Ika's still in the roster, and you still got and you got Soaz in the top lane, who probably costs way too much money, and he's not good anymore. He's washed. Yeah. And it's okay to be washed. He had a successful career. He's been playing League of Legends as long as Doublelift. There's times when you need to retire.
Yeah.
You know, so he needs to go, and they fired all their coaches, which was an excellent move. Honestly, they should have done it in between splits. The fact that, like, if I'm the GM and my coach goes to me and goes, I want to bench our potentially franchise player for no reason, just because I think Potluck's doing better.
I'd say you're the smartest coach out there.
I would fire you on the second, like on the spot. Like, and the fact that Zabutin still had a job in general is mind blowing to me, since he brought a team to playoffs once, maybe twice, and they both times got out at 6th place.
And then put a Smithy on an academy team.
Yeah, well, like no, but even like when he was on Optic, they were bad. They were never.
Optic was just bad in general.
Yes, but he was the coach.
That is true.
He was the head coach, and so like
it's all on him.
If this guy gets another job after this, other than like an up and coming league or like an assistant coach role, I don't know what that management's doing. Like, he should not be in a head position.
He shouldn't.
Head coach position.
You should just pull a Prawley and go into the analyst desk.
Yeah. The fact that you're taking Eka, don't know how to really pronounce it, and you put him as your starting mid laner.
Yeah.
He's a French player who's never made it to LEC. He made it for half a split and he got kicked, and then he was playing in the up and coming league, and he was just standard there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, it's pretty much playing in not academy but like below academy, and he was just average there. And they pick him instead of picking a player like DeMonte.
That's the thing we talked about earlier, how in NA they just love to recycle teams, like recycle players, but then you get good players that should be on a team, and for some reason they don't take them. Like, there's a little give and take. Like, yes, we don't want to keep on using the same players. NA, please stop doing that. But if you have a good player, please pick them up. That's all I ask.
Well, and let's be real, DeMonte only played a year. Like, he wasn't a recycled player.
No.
He is a young player that still has a lot of potential in my mind to still be developed. Like, if you put a Cloud9 picking up a DeMonte, I think DeMonte becomes almost a Niski level player. Maybe not Niski level. Niski is a really high level player.
Yes.
But Cloud9 just does that with their stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think DeMonte has almost like a lot of potential to be a top 3 mid laner in the league easily. And the fact that, you get players like Eka going in for DeMonte is just ridiculous to me. Like, absolutely ridiculous.
And I think what's also crazy that's happening is we might get a second documentary.
Oh. I know. Hopefully Dignitas got the cameras rolling and they're ready.
Yeah.
They got to put
Breaking Point 2.0.
They got to put Lokodoko back on coaching.
Exactly.
Oh my god, it would be perfect.
Get him off the YouTube grind.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm super excited for this
for the second documentary?
Not the second documentary, for this roster.
For the roster. Okay.
Only because the Breaking Point roster
made it to Worlds.
They didn't make it to Worlds, I checked.
Oh,
no, they didn't.
Oh.
The first time Team Liquid made it to Worlds was with their championship roster.
Oh.
They were first place in this, and at the end of the split, and then they lost in playoffs.
Oh.
But they were first place in the split. This roster,
I watched Breaking Point when I was first getting into League.
Yeah.
So I have to probably go back and rewatch it because I was thinking that was in Worlds.
No, they were trying for Worlds, and then they were 4th place instead of 3rd, which is the meme, right? The 4th place. Which now it's even more of a meme since Team Liquid won 4 championships, and now it's like they didn't win a 5th one. They didn't win a 5th one, so it's like the perfect like circle of the meme. It's coming back into like fruition.
Yeah.
But the fact that like they're top lane, they switch out Viper for Lorlo, which is honest. Lorlo, he's an okay top laner. Mm-hmm. At his best, he's a top 5. Top 6 maybe top laner. He's been really grinding it out, so we're gonna see how it goes. Dardoch, everyone hypes up Dardoch for his mechanical skill, but he never works in any team environment. But he's best friends with Lorlo. Like, they're really close friends, so their synergy is gonna be great. And Phoenix, all those 3 players have played together before. Yeah. They're mid jungle synergy and then top. That's all great. Like, it's great to have that standard, and then you have a relatively solid bot lane with Afromu and
This is Editor Owen here. Eddie forgot who the name of the ADC for Dignitas was, so I'm just a little cutting in here to let you guys know it's Johnson. So yeah, just everyone in the comments, tell Eddie that you're really disappointed in him.
I'm sorry.
And we're going to get back to the podcast.
sad.
And it's going to be about how stupid Eddie is.
Yeah.
And me, because I also forgot.
It's
but we're going to move on.
Okay.
Because I think what we're going to see throughout the split is a lot more roster changes. And the reason for this is because of how weird the offseason was between these two splits with the COVID-19 situation. So I feel like a lot of teams didn't get the chance to do the switches they want because a lot of players are stuck in regions. They couldn't do inter-region switches, anything like that. Like, you had to stick with the players that were kind of already there. No one would really be willing to move across the country to LA to do all this stuff. Like, I feel like you were really confined to the league. So I feel like a lot of roster switches are going to happen that people probably wanted to happen during the summer.
Absolutely. It's, people want, it's NA management.
Yeah.
And NA management doesn't believe in any talent.
They don't.
Which is sad.
But we are going to talk about that might be changing later.
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully. But I think what we also have to talk about is one of the roster moves that they didn't try to do over the summer, which was when they 100 Thieves, as you can see, I'm a 100 Thieves fan, but they finally decided to get rid of Stunt because I do love his play style of just queuing everything he can. But, sometimes that doesn't work. And that's why I'm a bronze supporter.
Yeah, that's how...
Because I just queue everything.
Yeah, Owen plays that way, and for an LCS player to be playing how Owen plays is not good.
But 100 Thieves, I'll be your support now if Pume doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, sign me for 1.8 million.
Yeah, I have, I'm like bronze 3. Perfect support. But besides the fact, we finally got to see someone come up so fast. Like we talked about earlier, how Doublelift's been in the league forever and has always been playing the game. Now we have Pume, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who has been playing League of Legends for a total of 2 years. 2 years. He's been playing League of Legends, and he's now in the LCS.
Well, he went from a 17-year-old like 100 Thieves next player to Academy the moment he turned 18, and now he's in LCS literally a month after he went into Academy.
It's the fastest thing ever, and it all comes from the 100 Thieves Next program, which we're going to talk about later, but I think it could really help the LCS if other teams follow. But the other change we had was Contracts in for Medios. Contracts has been a player that's been around the LCS. He was in Academy the last few years.
He made it. He was a top 4 finalist at Worlds.
Yes.
Remember, this guy has brought NA to the best position it has ever been since Korea joined League of Legends.
And he's in Academy for some reason. So, after Medios was one of in the top 2 for most deaths in the LCS this split, alongside our boy Stunt. 100 Thieves taking the crown with most deaths. They decided to switch him out. And Eddie, do you actually know who the 3rd most deaths is in the LCS right now?
I actually don't. Who is?
You don't? Ryoma. So 100 Thieves is taking the top 3 of all most deaths.
Hey, top 3 somewhere.
So they just took the bottom 2 and just cut him off the team. Ryoma was just right that close to the chopping block.
They don't have a mid laner at that point
true.
yet.
Yeah. So, but that's what they did. And they had their first game yesterday. They lost terribly. But they also have just been practicing for a week. So, yeah, give them some hope.
Remember, you're taking a support player who went from literally barely playing League of Legends to being on Next to being on Academy to LCS and
they were talking about in one of the interviews with Papa Smithy that they're teaching, the main thing they're teaching Pume right now is ward positioning, when to put defensive wards, like all this stuff that you'd usually know with your years of League of Legends. But he doesn't know this stuff because he's just really mechanically good at the game, but doesn't know this stuff. So since he's been in Academy basically the split, it's just been, here, this is how you play the game at a high level. So there's a lot of teaching for him to do, but it's good because they're actually bringing up
they're bringing up NA talent. That's why I'm so happy about the Immortals roster playing, because that's a roster completely filled with North American players. I want it to be successful.
Yeah, I think the issue with NA, like we talked about earlier, is just the recycling. You have to give, if someone's not working, I know they're your friend, but they gotta go. You gotta bring someone else up.
There shouldn't be friends. You shouldn't be friends.
Exactly.
This is a competition.
You can be friends with your teammates, but at the end of the day,
there needs to be a separation between management and team.
Yeah.
And that's when you have Medios tweeting out did you see his tweet his rants?
Oh yeah, he was not happy
when he was he tags he tagged Papa Smithy, Ziggs, and there was one other coach, and he's like, oh, the players didn't know about this roster change.
Well, the players shouldn't. They're not involved in the roster change.
Well, I think they should have maybe briefed them about it, but other than that,
but
they
you
don't.
think of the NHL? Do you think when they're
shouldn't have
going
any
to
say.
get rid of some random defenseman on the Penguins, they go up to Crosby and they're like, hey, and this is a good idea. No, they just do it. Like, you just play with who you're given.
They shouldn't have say. And there needs to be that separation between management and players to be able to create the best team.
100%.
And also, once again, Cloud9 does that the best.
Yeah, so I think we're going to go to a game, but once we're through the game, we're going to be talking about amateur teams and how they hopefully will change the LCS.
But for now,
so we're going to start a game.
Mini game. Okay, here we go.
So the game we're going to be playing today, Eddie, is I have 10 names right here from LCS players. All right? They're paired into groups of 2. I'm going to give you 2 names, and you have to guess which one has the highest follower count.
On Twitter.
Yes, on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay, so we are starting off with Someday and Demonte. Demonte only has 28,000 followers. Someday has 134,000.
Okay, wow.
So that's 1 point Owen. I got you on that one.
Yeah, I thought Tanner Time was going to have a lot more followers.
I told you there was going to be some weird ones here.
Okay.
Okay, next we have Dardoch versus Niski.
Ooh.
Unless you know this is a close one.
Okay.
The 3,000 follower difference.
Okay. I'm going to go Dardoch.
Niski has 69,000. Dardoch has 66,000.
Okay, wow.
So you have to get the next 3 right to win.
Jesus. Okay. Talk about pressure.
Huni and Biofrost.
Biofrost.
Huni has 198,000. Biofrost is 136,000.
God, man. Wow. Okay. Oh, I should have, because I gotta take into account that Huni's played in Korea.
Yeah, he's got multiple.
Played
regions.
in LCK. You know. Okay.
Yeah. So our next is Jensen versus Froggen.
I'm gonna go Jensen, but I feel like I'm wrong.
Froggen has 262,000.
Okay.
Jensen has 199,000.
Oh my god. Can I go for 5, ladies and gentlemen?
Our last 2 are both under 10,000 followers.
Okay.
We have Tactical and then Pome.
Tactical.
Tactical has 8,200 and Pome has 1,800. So you got 1 point, Eddie.
Wow, I got the one that was super obvious. I would hope the LCS player has more than the very recent LCS player.
So I win game 1.
Yeah,
and we're going to have a game every single week. Next week, Eddie gives me some questions. Wow. But I'm up 1-0.
Yeah, I know. I took an early defeat, but, you know, I lost a battle, but I can still win the war.
That is very true. We're going to have like a prize at the end?
I don't know.
Like at the end of season 2 of Afk In The Morning.
Like, does someone have to dye their hair or something?
Ooh, I don't like that one. I don't want my hair dyed.
We'll
think of something.
Okay.
Give us suggestions in the comments on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Give us suggestions. And maybe at the end of the season, the loser will have something. But currently, I'm up 1-0. But we do have some other topics to get to.
Yes.
So, we are going to be starting off with amateur teams. So, being 100 Thieves fan myself, that's who I root for, even though I'll try to be impartial on this show. I will be impartial.
You can only be
so
impartial.
I've already said 100 Thieves is doing some dumb stuff.
You already shit on Meteos. You already shit on Stunt, you know.
So, we're good here. But we're going to talk about this. So, we talked about how Pome, I actually don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry if this is super wrong. But Pume, I'm going to say Pome. That sounds Pome. I don't know. Pume. I'm going to go Pume. Pume was from 100 Thieves Next. So if you guys don't know what 100 Thieves Next is, it's an amateur team. Basically, it's under academy. So the whole goal of it is to get people moved up. So I think I talked about this earlier. I may have not have. But Papa Smithy on a podcast basically said that they went to Challenger Grid. Like they saw Challenger in NA. They went through all the people that were too young to play in academy, all the high school people, and just found like 5 of the best from all different roles and said, hey, you want to be on 100 Thieves as like an amateur team? They put them together and they put them into like amateur competitions where like you and your friends could go join. And obviously it's not the best competition, but they're getting their teamwork and they're under 100 Thieves. So far, there's already been 2. I know Palme got moved to academy. I believe there was one other. I don't remember his name. I apologize for that. I'll have it in a little card when on YouTube. But there was another player, and they've already just got brought up from here because they get to see their talent firsthand. And we've seen this before with C9. C9 has always used their academy team to bring up new talent, unlike Team Liquid, where they just buy whatever they can get.
Yeah, you know, Money Steve, big
Money Steve. But it worked out. But also C9's strategy of not spending a lot, developing NA talent, has also worked out.
C9 has had the best like a top 3 team because of their like academy team easily in the last 2 years, 3 years.
100%.
Only because they're able to constantly develop talent. So that's kind of what 100 Thieves is trying to do now.
Exactly. And I really hope that other LCS teams decide to get amateur teams. Even if they join the same leagues or they're all in different leagues, whatever it is. But I think having amateur teams really lets those challenger players have another way into the league besides Proving Grounds. Or is it Proving Grounds?
Yeah, it's Scouting Grounds.
Scouting Grounds. I think it used to be called Proving Grounds, right? Or there's something like that.
It was similar.
I don't know.
Similar enough.
But yeah, so that's really the only way there is right now. But 100 Thieves having this next program where they get to just get challenger players, they're probably paying them nothing, if not just a little bit, and they're giving them coaches, they're giving them opportunity, all this stuff to grow. And C9, I think, will be the next team to do it.
Yeah.
Because they've already gone through all this amateur stuff. So it makes the most sense for them to be the next ones. And I hope once multiple teams have this, other teams realize it's the best way to do it. And I think it all comes down to if Pame does good in the LCS. Because if he becomes a really good jungler and really helps 100 Thieves, other teams... Yeah, why did I say jungler? I was thinking of how bad Medios is.
Oh.
If he becomes a really good support... If he becomes a really good support...
Oh my God.
I can't say my words right now. Then teams are going to realize this guy would have never been noticed. He's some random Canadian that's been playing the game for 2 years, has no social media following. Like we talked about earlier, he has 1,000 followers, and that's probably since he got put onto the team.
Yeah.
Like, this guy no one knew. Because 100 Thieves grabbed him, they saw his potential, and they're training him. So if he does good, by far, other teams are going to do this.
Well, and it's not only a way to develop player talent, but think of how many retired players are looking for coaching opportunities.
It's perfect.
There's so many. So you're not only developing player talent, you're also developing coaching talent
100%.
by just, let's say, Golden Glue, he put on his twit longer that he's really looking at coaching for the first time. He's always wanted to play, but now he's finally looking at coaching. You put that guy, he's not going to ask for a ton of money. You put him on a roster, you put him with the Academy Next or whatever it's called, and then you just hope for the best. And it's the best way to develop coaches, players. You're developing your next level for everything.
It's a farm system like the NHL, the NBA, they all have. You have multiple levels of teams that all are under the same organization that you try to move them up the ranks.
Just create.
Obviously, you have your amazing people that get brought straight to the top and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you also need that, if you need a little extra. If Medios isn't working out, you need a little jungle boost. You have to have those people to grab from.
Always. You're always going to have your superstars, but the best teams have the best average players.
Exactly. You could probably win, to be honest, the way the LCS is right now, besides C9, with a bunch of average players, you could probably get top 3.
Yeah, instead of just having bad players.
1 or 2 good players with a few bad players, you're not going to get that because they're going to throw. Like stunt queuing into a tower. I don't know if he actually did that, but it seems like something he would do.
Yeah, stunt is, he's not an LCS caliber player.
No, he's not.
And it's...
But you know who is an LCS caliber player?
Everyone.
All of C9 roster.
Everyone from Cloud9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're destroying right now.
Yeah, and why... And then not only, they're destroying, they're having their best year, period.
Yeah.
Other than the only one that could come close is maybe the C9 roster that came in when they first came into the LCS, which was, an incredible roster. But they still, I think they lost 2 or 3 games, not 1. So they had their best split in history, in spring split. But the last 2-3 years, Cloud9 have easily been a top 3 team every split. And
doing stuff that other teams don't.
Yeah, and that's because they have a fantastic coaching staff, and they're willing to develop players. And they're also willing to trade their players at their peak in exchange for...
developing players.
Yes. So you could see, let's say with a Team Liquid, they went from first place to 9th place. They're starting, let's say the players are starting to peter out, right? Yeah. Cloud9 doesn't let that happen.
No.
They already replace you with the best player. They don't want to spend a lot of money on you either. They're not budget. They still spent $1 million on Vulcan.
Yeah.
But they were willing to do that because they got everyone else for bargain bin prices and are first place.
Yeah.
So, and that's from their academy program just being so great. Just to name off a few, I wrote down a couple of the academy players, and none of these, only one, or I guess two. 2 of these players play for Cloud9's starting roster 3 of the other ones play for other rosters. Like, you got Wiggly on CLG, was from Cloud9's Academy team. Kumo, he's the top laner of Evil Geniuses, from Cloud9's Academy team. You got Blabber, he was the MVP of the split last split. He's looking to be the MVP of the split again. Like, he's a beast, a phenomenon. You got Licorice, who's easily a top laner. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. And then you got Zazael, he was the support for Cloud9, and now he's the support for Evil Geniuses. So they are willing to develop top North American talent. And these North American players are winning. They are like, all the teams I mentioned, other than CLG with their bad split, were top 5 teams. You know?
Yeah. I don't have a list with me right now, but I don't think any other team from their academy team has as many players in LCS.
No, they just
I
don't.
could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like it.
They don't. I know for a fact they don't. They just don't develop players, and they're not willing to put players. This is the first split that we're finally seeing way more players from Academy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think a lot of teams were using Academy as like a retirement home.
Yeah.
You can't get on an LCS team, we'll just start you in Academy.
Your Twitter followers make us look good.
Yeah.
So, like, North American LCS is a popularity contest.
It is.
And
that's kind of sad.
And that's sad, but because they're businesses. Teams are businesses. They need to make money. The way to make money is advertising. The way to promote advertisement is engagement, Twitter followers, that type of stuff.
So if our show gets a lot of followers, do you think a team will pick me up as support? Think of the headlines. Bronze support makes LCS team. I think that'd be pretty good.
Maybe if Zabutin was still coach.
Perfect. All right, we gotta get him back in there.
He might
unblock you on Twitter first.
Oh, and you gotta be French. You're not French.
That is true. I don't speak French
I'm French.
at all.
I'm part French.
You're blocked though.
My gaming Twitter. He hasn't blocked my gaming Twitter yet, but he's not the coach anymore.
We'll get him back in.
We'll get him. How are we gonna get him back in?
That's a topic for another day.
We're just gonna.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No. We're gonna buy an LCS team.
Gonna write on my notepad here. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, it's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
That C9 is also just so dominant right now. Me and you were talking earlier about how right now the highest KDA in the world is like C9's bot lane has first and like 5th KDA in the world right now.
They're
that
nuts.
could come from NA not having the best competition. But even like we haven't had the best competition in the last few years. When TL was dominating, they didn't have the highest KDA in the world. Like C9 is just running over their opponents and playing with their food.
And I honestly feel bad that it's online because I personally didn't take Spring Split that seriously. It's online.
The way they changed it now also doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. So it's like Spring Split. My favorite team, Team Liquid, was 9th place. So I wasn't super interested.
Yeah, we flip flopped.
But now I'm consistently watching LCS again, and you're like, holy shit, Cloud9 is really that good.
Yeah.
Like they are just head and shoulders above anyone else. The only team that even put up a slight fight was Team Liquid, and it was just a slight fight.
I wish there was an MSI this year so we could have seen where Cloud9 compares to the world.
Yeah, ranked everywhere else.
But we're not gonna know until Worlds.
Well,
and that kind of adds a little.
And we don't even know if there's gonna be a Worlds. That's
true.
That's
they
sketchy.
Can't really do an online. The servers would not support NA to Korea.
Yeah, not really. They would have to pull some crazy shit.
Unless you get some
shit.
Elon Musk like Skynet or whatever it's called. And they get the internet routed straight through the satellite. They put an LCS server in orbit.
Oh my God,
that could work.
Yeah, I feel like
hit me up LCS. I'll help you out.
They don't even want to put 2 servers in North America.
This is true. We do all run on the same server.
So I don't think they're gonna put it in the fucking satellite.
Hey, you never know.
Wait, but where isn't it in China again? So China might put up that money.
Ooh, that is true.
That's China's always they got so much. They got fat stacks.
Play LCS off a satellite.
Yeah, you think of it.
You probably wouldn't be a difference, but it'd just be cool.
You could be like, yo, if you're a North American talent, you can now play against Chinese players and practice against them, or Korean players. Like that would be
crazy. Internet. I don't know if it's possible, but it's an idea.
It's probably not, but
we probably just sound really dumb.
As you can tell, we're not exactly
yeah.
IT specialists, so
that's really it for the welcome back episode.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna call it because it's not a normal release schedule.
No, it's more just like
our announcement of our return.
It's like the pilot. Think of it as like the pilot. It's
maybe
not.
We'll call it. We'll title it the pilot.
The pilot. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because it's not what the show's going to be.
And it's not what the show used to be.
Yeah, it's just the middle point. We're going through a transition period where we're trying to figure out the best way to do everything. And we will find it. Mark my words. But that's, the priority.
And I believe you guys will be seeing this on Monday, July 6th, if I have my things right. And hopefully you'll be tuning in with us this Friday, which would be July 10th or something.
Well, today is Saturday and it's July 4th. So Friday was July 3rd. So then 10th.
10th, yeah.
It is the 10th.
It is the 10th. Wow, we're good at this.
Yeah.
Tune in with us on July 10th and we'll have our first, It'll be our second full episode of
AFK in the Morning.
AFK in the Morning. So thank you for being with us, and make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and join our Discord. All links will be in the description below.
Everything, you can find everything down there.
Yeah.
So.
And have a beautiful day.
I love you. Goodbye.